Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the TNR Sports Show. The TNR Sports Show. We're back with another video. A Monday video. A Monday video. We're doing a Monday video. Coming out on Tuesday, of course. Look for the video to come out at 12:30. Ryan, how's it going, buddy?
It's going good, living life. How about you?
It's going good. It's going fantastic. It's going great. I'm tired. I'm ready to go to bed. I'm exhausted. I had a long day, but I'm here producing for the people, making content, making content.
Oh yeah.
I'm excited about it. I'm ready to move forward. We got a big episode today. Talking a lot of college basketball recaps from over the weekend. So make sure you like and subscribe so you can stay tuned to all the sporting news. We're about that time. It's coming up. I think this is the last weekend.
Yeah, I think this is the last weekend
So
of
this is
regular
it.
season college
So we got a
basketball.
lot of. We'll have one hell of a show on next. Maybe we'll try to record on Sunday next week, so we can. There probably won't be an episode this coming Friday, just because there's a little slow news. But in Monday's episode, I'm gonna try to come out on Monday. We'll do a little switch up in the schedule. We'll try to record on Sunday just to recap. But you know, we'll have a lot of college basketball stuff. Coach K's last game, the final before the SEC tournament. You're gonna have the SEC tournament going on. You're gonna have tons of stuff going down. So we got to make sure we're in tune, paying attention, watching the games. Arkansas right now is number 2 in the SEC after a dominating win against Kentucky. So, but that's kind of where we stand. We know, like, once you get in that tournament, that's when everybody starts like,
Like
so
paying
start
attention,
paying
yeah.
attention. Yeah. So, I mean, if you don't like basketball, yeah, a lot of people still pay attention during the SEC, during the college conference tournaments, I should say, not the SEC, the conference tournaments, and then the March Madness, of course.
Yeah, March
Um,
Madness is what brings everybody in. So
yeah, March Madness just brings everybody in. So we'll go. We'll start with the SEC tournament. We'll try to do as much we'll plan around that, and we'll go from there. In regards to this past Saturday, I've heard many pundits say this. This was possibly the best weekend of college basketball of all time. Ryan, do you believe that of all time? And regular season, I should say.
okay, I'll say maybe not
Yeah,
all
probably not
time,
all
but in the
time.
regular
Yeah, when you
season,
make the
sure.
tournament stuff. All right, I'm going to read off the top 6 teams lost, and I'm going to read them off out of order because that's the way I wrote them.
And not
So,
and number 9 lost too.
yeah, number 9. Who was number 9? I didn't write
Texas
them down.
Tech.
Texas Tech lost to who?
Let me see. 1 second.
I'll read these off. You look that up.
TCU.
TCU. Ooh, the Horned Frogs. Did
The Horned
Oklahoma win?
Frogs. Probably not. I don't even
Oh,
know.
I remember. So this is bad. Everybody they kicked off Oklahoma.
No,
Oklahoma
they
State.
did. Bedlam won. They won in Bedlam. That's right.
Yeah, they kicked it off because Arkansas and Kentucky were about to
Yeah.
start. Oklahoma State's game was sucking.
The
And
overtime.
yeah, no one cared. So they're like, kick this game
Okay.
off. And they sent it to CBS Sports Network. They put the Hogs on there. Oh, the Hogs. So disrespectful. So I guess I wrote it down in the time the games were played, which kind of does make sense. All right, we'll start. Number 4, Purdue lost to Mississippi State, to Michigan State,
Michigan.
65-68. All right, here's the deal. I watched this game, so I'm going to talk about the ones I watched. I think Ryan's going to talk about the ones he watched, and we'll go from there. So this Michigan State team does have an 8 perimeter shooting. I think they stink. They have a lot of bigs, so it's kind of an old style basketball team with the modern NBA and such. That was shooting a lot of threes, so it's kind of an older style basketball team. Purdue, I don't know if you know this, Ryan, has like 130th ranked defense in the country, or 158th or something. There's so many teams, and
It's bad.
Division 1 basketball. So yeah, it's bad. So Purdue has made their money outscoring people. So
Scoring.
yeah, scoring. So they lost because they didn't outscore them, and they had a bad shooting day. 68 points for Purdue. I think it's kind of on the lower end of what they usually produce. And being on the road, Tom Izzo, and it makes it tough. So I think Purdue. I think that's where they struggled. So
Hmm.
Purdue lost to Michigan State, 68-65, final score. Next, the Hogs, the Arkansas Razorbacks, Arkansas, beat Kentucky, the number 6 ranked Kentucky, 75-73. Did you see that bank shot at the end, Ryan? You know what I'm talking about? The very end of the game. So
When
Arkansas,
Kentucky scored?
yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a crushing blow to all bettors, because
The
the
spread?
spread was 2.5,
Yeah.
and that dude
Why'd I
nailed
know it?
every. So that kind of comes down to Arkansas. did miss a free throw, right? So the guy missed a free throw, allowing that dude to kind of kill the spread. But if you look at that Arkansas Kentucky game at the last play, the referee blew his whistle. Arkansas had gotten the ball and they were running down the court, but the referee thought the ball went out of bounds. So this is twofold. Arkansas, the ball obviously didn't go out of bounds. So Arkansas got to retain the ball because the possession arrow pointed to Arkansas, I believe. That's kind of how that worked.
Yeah.
But so Kentucky, um, so Kentucky, if Arkansas gets that ball and they run it down the court, it's over. There's done. Arkansas
Yeah.
scores a 2-point, and then Kentucky's like whatever. It's a 6-point ball game. The bet is win. But that guy calls that play, that calls that ball out of bounds. That allows Arkansas to then inbound it like that, and then then the bet loses.
I'll
So
bet that Kentucky player had a bet on this game, and he knew
no, I don't
if
know.
he hit that three, he'd make his money.
I think he was just going down the court. I don't think that's true.
I
That
mean,
shot just banked into. It was like bang. It was
that
like
was a
yeah,
good
it was
shot.
crazy. He just nailed that thing. It didn't matter. Kentucky.
If they had done a few more of those, they would have won.
Kentucky. I like how Kentucky moved their bench off the court or whatever.
I know they got away from it before the game ended.
Yeah, they were afraid the court was going to be stormed. So
Well,
that's why they
yeah.
moved the guys on the court. But I was like, I was listening to a podcast talk about it today, and they're like, how selfish are the Kentucky people? But to leave the reserves, get the reserves off the court, and then you leave your starters out there to die. You know what I mean? They're going to get stormed. He's like, that's not how you do it. At least pull your starters and get the reserves on the court or something. If they're going to get stormed, they get stormed. But when you get starters,
it's okay.
but Arkansas was not storming that. I saw a lot of crap given Arkansas about not storming that. Man, you give Arkansas crap for not storming that court, you go ahead and pay the $400,000 fine that would be dropped on the Hogs if they stormed the court. Because it was just $250,000. I think the next one is $400,000.
Yeah,
maybe $350,000. I don't know how much it is, but
it's
I think
a lot
it's
of money.
$354,000. And then you're going to pay $400,000? I mean, that's crazy. And the SEC's stupid for having that rule in place anyway. I don't know what someone had to pass away or get sued the SEC or something to have that dumb rule in place. Every other conference in America, all of them, let the people storm the court. I mean, the ACC lets people storm the court in football. I mean, Clemson does it every game.
Every single game.
Yeah, even when they I don't know if they do it when they lose.
No, they don't. They lose.
But when they win, even if it's
so.
some like stupid team
lost
like
in a while.
South Carolina State or the Citadel, or Furman, they just beat the crap out of them. They still stormed the field. So I don't know. I just so dumb. That's my little Arkansas. But Arkansas beat Kentucky. We're the hottest
It's a good win.
in the SEC, which is good. Maybe it'll carry over into the SEC tournament. And
I mean, who knows? Auburn is in a bad streak right now, which we'll get to, I guess, in a second.
yeah.
But so hey.
So Arkansas won that game 75-73. Sorry to all Arkansas bettors. Number 3, Auburn lost to Tenor 67-62. Ryan, speak on it.
I mean, Auburn is just. I feel like they're just falling apart.
Yeah. They say some teams get hot. It's about when you get hot, right? So NFL teams do it all the time. It's like you'll have a team like the Buccaneers who suck during the regular season, get hot in the postseason and win the Super Bowl, right? So they got hot. They got hot at the right time. It's not about if you can get hot. It's about when you get hot. Because if you get hot, who cares? No one gives a damn if you get hot in November and December. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. And then you cool down January and February. That's when you're supposed to be hot. And then when that happens, you fall off the ledge. And that seems to be what happened with Auburn, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think they've lost, was it 3 out of the last 5 or something like that? Yeah. 3 out of the last 6. That's not good. I haven't seen the rankings, but I'm sure they're dropping pretty hard because of that. They're probably, I would imagine, not even in the top 10 anymore, if I had to guess. But who knows? Of how many teams have lost? Who knows?
I'll tell you here in a second. Yeah, Auburn. Let me see.
But Tennessee is a good team as well. Like, we can't take away from Tennessee. Tennessee is a fantastic basketball team as well, and they got a good win over the Auburn Tigers.
Oh, they're still ranked number 3.
And maybe the ranking hasn't come out yet.
They probably didn't know what to do with all the teams losing. They were like, let's just keep them in the same spot that they were all in. Like, they didn't only moved Arkansas up for 3-4 spots or whatever it was. We moved from 18th to 14th. I was like, that's crazy.
Really weird, yeah.
I was like, what do we have to do? We've only lost 6 games. They were all in the beginning of the year.
Yeah. Kentucky and Kansas dropped one ranking.
What, Duke?
That's just so stupid.
Like 2 or 3 or something like that.
Duke's 4. Baylor's 3, Arizona's 2, and Gonzaga's
So
1.
Baylor and Arizona got blown out. That's the next game. Number 2 Arizona lost to Colorado
Yeah,
63-79. They got blown out at a bad team, and they still are ranked number 2. And that's crazy, man. That's crazy. Why would you
makes no
do that?
sense.
Now, the Colorado
And
game,
it's
crazy.
weird because like look at the AP, top 25. Out of the top 4, they're the only team with 0 first place votes. Like Arizona has no first place votes,
They're
whereas
still number
Gonzaga,
2.
yeah, like Baylor has 4 votes and Duke has 11.
Dang, that's weird. I guess everybody knows Arizona's the second best team, and they are not the first, but they will always be the second place team in the country.
Arizona, I don't even think they're in second place. I
I
would
don't know.
if
That's what the AP voters seem to think.
I would say Baylor and Duke are better personally.
Yeah, I would say too. I would. Baylor impresses me. And you know what's impressive about Baylor? Baylor. They lost so much last year after winning the national championship, and they still
They're
managed to
still
be great.
one of the
I was
best
like,
teams in the
how is that
country. Yeah.
possible? Yeah. So that was Arizona. Arizona blown out of Colorado. That did
hmm
storm. They did storm the court. They deserved that. That's a good
They
storming the court.
Colorado needs a little help.
Yeah, they needed. That's good for them. And
Yeah.
then speaking of the Baylor Bears, Kansas lost to Baylor 70-80 on Saturday as well. A lot of these were on the road, it seems. A lot of them were.
hmm
I mean, Baylor, St.
Baylor was
Mary's,
at home.
Colorado, Tennessee, Arkansas. Baylor was at home. Yeah, that's what I'm
Baylor
saying.
was at
Actually,
home. Yeah.
all of them were on the road. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, I think all of them were on the road.
I
Which
kept seeing Chip Gaines too much, not to be a home game for Baylor.
yeah, that's funny. Yeah, so they lost to Baylor 80. I mean, they lost to Kansas. I mean, they beat Kansas 80-70.
Yeah, they
And
had to
then
come back from like down 15 at one point. That was crazy.
yeah. And then Gonzaga, the number 1 team in the country, still holding that spot. I think they are pretty good. Lost to St. Mary's 57-67.
And St. Mary's is ranked. They're not a bad
Yeah.
team either. They're ranked.
They're like
They were ranked 23. I'm sure they're
I
higher
think it's
now.
like one of their first losses in conference for like 3 years or something like that. It's
Really?
crazy. Yeah.
I think the only other St. Mary's obviously pretty decent this year. I know BYU's in that conference. Weirdly, I don't know why, but they are.
Well, they're independent in football, but you can't be independent in basketball. That's literally almost impossible.
Yeah, you have to have. I
I
mean,
mean,
that's how
Notre
you get to the
Dame.
tournament.
That's one of the main reasons Notre Dame joined. The ACC
The
because of
ACC, yeah,
basketball, baseball, softball. It's hard to do that. It's
they used
fun
to be in the
being
Big East before then.
it's fun being independent, right? Oh, I'm independent in football. But then you think about all the other sports that you have to be independent in. Like, think about women's softball. You got women's basketball. You got all these
Basketball,
volleyball. I mean, basketball. Yeah, women's basketball, men's basketball. I mean, it's hard
really,
to
and
be. I mean, it's
really,
hard to be.
the only sport where it's beneficial to be out of a conference, and I say that lightly. I wouldn't say it was beneficial to Notre Dame or BYU, but the only time it's beneficial to be in a conference outside of football
I
because
think. I think
that's how you get to tournaments.
Notre Dame's time in football is coming to an end. I don't know if it'll be this year, next
That's
year.
an independent.
Yeah, I think that's gonna. I think they're gonna just fully join the ACC in a couple of years.
I
I
mean,
don't
it
know.
makes
I think it'll
sense. I
be in
mean,
about 3 years. I mean, the 1 year they were in it, what they
they
lost
almost
to
they made the
Clemson, they
playoff.
still made the playoff. I mean, Notre Dame, what they won, what 11-1, I think it was in the regular season.
If they were in the ACC this year and had that record that they had, they would have been in the playoff.
Who did they lost in
Cincy,
in the Fiesta? No, they lost it in the Fiesta Bowl, right?
yeah, to Oklahoma State.
PS4 Fiesta Bowl or whatever it is to Oklahoma State.
PS5 now.
PS5. Oh yeah, how about that? The Sony Fiesta Bowl, I think it is, or something. It used to be Tostitos.
Yeah, the
That just was more
Tostitos.
appropriate. I don't
I
know
think
what
it's
the
just the PlayStation's Fiesta Bowl, but
yeah,
yeah,
that's
it
what it
is.
is, the PlayStation
Yeah,
Fiesta Bowl. But I was like, I mean, I mean, they had a good season. Brian Kelly, what a scumbag. I just don't know. I think the time of being anyway. So we had a getting off track. Brian Kelly hate. Yeah. So I think it's a good. It's a good. Overall good season for the underdog. I think this is going
yeah.
to be one of our best March Madness because last year, you sat there and watched. I think I think
You
we all knew
Gonzaga and
Baylor.
Baylor. We
Yeah,
knew
we
it.
all knew it,
Yeah,
and that's what it was in the end. I mean, UCLA made an impressive run. Arkansas made an impressive run. Hate to toot my own horn here. Houston, Oregon State made impressive runs. There was somebody else that made it kind of far that wasn't expected. I don't remember.
UCLA was not expected to go that far.
Who did Gonzaga beat? Did they beat UCLA? I think they did actually.
Yeah, they
Who
did in the Final Four.
Houston made it to the Final Four. That was the one I was thinking of. Houston. I
Okay.
mean, no one expected them to make it either. They made it. So it was Baylor, Houston, right, and then Gonzaga, UCLA in the Final Four.
Yeah, I think so.
So I mean, you have these unprecedented teams that are making these massive runs, and that's. But I think this year, you're going to have more balance. I mean, any team can lose at any time. I don't think.
Yeah, this
I don't
year,
think
this
Gonzaga's as
year,
good as they were last year. I don't think UCLA is as good. I don't think Baylor's not as good. Auburn
yeah,
seems to be falling apart.
I think UCLA was better this year, but they're starting to fall off. They're trending downwards, kind of like Auburn is right now.
Right.
Um, but like this year overall, like last year it was just Baylor and Gonzaga. We just kind of knew like those are the two best teams.
This
We
team,
didn't
you
even
don't
like
know.
we
You
didn't
just
even
don't
know
know.
UCLA was going to be that good. You know,
Yeah.
um,
You just don't know
this
this year.
year, I mean, Kentucky's back, Duke's back, Kansas is decent
Gonzaga and
again.
Baylor are still good. Auburn,
They're
good,
still
hot
good.
again.
Auburn, Arkansas, like it's
Yeah,
gonna be
there's a lot
fun.
of talent in that.
UCLA, Arizona, I
UCLA,
guess. I don't know.
Arizona. Yeah. I think the Pac-12 underrated, very good college
USC's
basketball.
pretty. I hate to say it, but pretty decent this year too.
Yeah. I mean, Oklahoma, Lincoln Riley isn't the coach of USC basketball, so you can't hate them completely.
I hate it. I just hate them. I'm just
Yeah. Have you
mad.
blocked by Lincoln Riley yet or no?
I blocked him.
Oh, okay, cool. So he didn't get the opportunity.
You didn't get the opportunity.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
took him
yeah,
out first.
yeah. That's smart. That's smart. I took him out before he
It's like
did.
a badge of honor, so maybe I should get blocked by him.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
figure it out.
I've been blocked by so many people. I was blocked by Brett Bielema. I tried to
Nice.
get blocked by Chad Morris. I pounded him in the dirt, and it didn't work out for me. But whatever. But so I mean that's the end of the college basketball session. Overall, great weekend of college basketball. We're gonna be, like I said, be keeping tabs on it. I've got my little book here. I write all my notes in for the show, which wasn't many. I just wrote the scores. But yeah, that's kind of the news. We're gonna keep an eye on things. Well, like I said, we'll be back. No episode Friday. We'll be back on Monday, kind of breaking down the scores, and maybe I'll post a TikTok or something or a YouTube short on Friday, breaking down the games on Saturday, seeing what I'm looking at, who I'm looking for. That Duke UNC game is going to be something.
It's gonna be epic.
I mean, even though UNC it sucks, I just think I
UNC's not
wonder.
bad.
I mean, they're not that good.
They're ranked,
I
aren't they?
I don't think so.
Pretty sure
I
they
would be
are.
surprised.
Or if they're not,
Um,
they're. I mean, they're still UNC.
One thing I wanted to say though is I wonder if the UNC kind of like decline from this year, them not being that good,
They
is
weren't
going to
good
be.
last year either.
Yeah, I wonder if that's going to be evident. I mean, they at least made the tournament. I mean, they'll probably make it this year. They're going to throw them in there anyway. I wonder if
No, you're
that
right.
kind of evident of what could happen to Duke, because I wonder sometimes. See, North Carolina, I feel like is bigger than the coach. I've always kind of considered that. But Duke, though, has only ever been good. Oh, because no one else has been there. Coach K is the only person that's ever been there. He doesn't give halftime interviews. Isn't that crazy? Um, yeah, he's never done it. Or he hasn't done it in like 20 years or something. Anyway, I mean, they've only ever had, I mean, UNC had a story history of like multiple good coaches.
Mhm.
Kansas, too, Kansas. There are a couple teams, that have always had these kind of storied coaches. And I wonder sometimes if is the Duke legacy about Duke or is it about Coach K? Because it's kind of like you're kind of sitting here in the balance right now because there have been great Kansas coaches, great UNC coaches, even Michigan State. You can make the argument: is it just Tom Izzo or is it Michigan State? You know what I mean? I guess Michigan State was a power in
Yeah, they were
basketball for a
good
while.
before then.
Magic
Um,
Johnson.
I I think you have to. I mean, if you look at Duke's recruiting class for next year in basketball, they'll
Oh,
be
I'm sure
good.
it's good. Yeah, I'm sure
They'll
it's
be
fine.
fantastic.
Yeah, I mean it's not as good as
Um,
Arkansas.
but again, you have
I
to
couldn't be
keep looking
surprised.
at it and
I
saying,
think Arkansas was number 2, and I think Duke was number 1. Oh
yeah.
no! Yeah,
I mean, this guy. I mean, if I remember right, he's coached several Duke games.
yeah.
And
Coach K
well, I
always
think
gets a fake injury
and
to
won them all. I
motivate his
think
team.
so.
Yeah, I think he coached that one they lost to like Virginia or something like that.
Well, Virginia's pretty decent. Not this year,
Yes.
but
Yeah, they
normally.
play defensive basketball. They are. I mean, there's a lot of ACC teams that are under ranked. You think Clemson's gonna fire Bradman now?
No,
God. You think South Carolina's gonna fire Frank Martin?
they're
I
doing
think
pretty
that
decent.
I think that actually is gonna happen. I
They're
think they're
like
gonna let him.
17-10 right now. It's
I
pretty
think they're gonna
decent.
let it. I think they're gonna let him go. I think
Who
so.
are
I
you
think
gonna
it's just.
get? Who?
I don't know. There's more I couldn't tell you. I think
I
there's more
mean,
college basketball talent out there though than you realize probably.
no,
There's a
I'm
lot out there.
sure, but like you're 17-10, and you're South Carolina in men's basketball. Let's just be honest
South
here.
Carolina should be better. I've always said that about South. You look at me like that. South Carolina is a valuable sports franchise. They've
I mean,
always
I'm
had.
saying,
They've
I'm going to say the same thing about Clemson in basketball. They're just these two are not basketball schools; they're football schools. They're not supposed to
South
be.
Carolina should be better in a lot more than what they are right now.
I
It's
mean,
possible. I mean, look at Arkansas. They're
fair.
good at three sports. They're good at football. They're good at basketball. It's not impossible. I mean, Alabama even. You said that Alabama's the ultimate football school.
Well,
Also, and
Alabama's a
now
little
look at
different.
them. They're I don't know, man. Are they? You should be able to succeed in most sports. That's what kind of gets Clemson. Clemson's problem is they don't sink no money in the basketball program. They probably don't cheat like the rest of us do. So they probably, their cheating is going in the football program. Where I guess I get it in Clemson. And the baseball program's good too in Clemson, but
And their soccer programs just won that championship.
that's true. I don't. You think there's a lot of cheating going on in soccer?
Yeah.
No way. I don't think so. But that's why I just think South Carolina's got. I'm not being too critical. I don't think, but I think they should be better in something, and I think they
I mean,
are definitely improving in football. That's
they're
definitely a
definitely
fact.
improving in football. I mean, honestly, you had two bad years under Muschamp. You fired him. You made the right choice. You got a good coach.
Yeah, the
You're on the
team's
up and up.
it
Your
seems
women's
so satisfied.
basketball. Your women's basketball is the best.
Yeah,
And then and
well, it's the best.
your men's basketball's been
I
decent to
mean, they had that
good.
Final Four run, but I mean, how long can you go on that? How long can you say we had a Final run 5 years ago, or whatever, 4 years ago? I mean,
I
how
mean,
long can
yeah,
you toot that horn?
but I
I
mean,
get
again,
it, man.
you're
Arkansas hasn't been a
still
Final Four in a long time,
you're
so I
still
would love
South
to see
Carolina.
Arkansas.
Like I mean, when you look at the SEC, you don't say, "Oh yeah, South Carolina is a team that's going to win SEC championships and go to the tournament all the time in the Southeastern Conference." It's Kentucky, it's Florida, it's Vanderbilt, which is surprisingly Vanderbilt, it's Arkansas. Like it's not South Carolina.
Well, they
South
could be
Carolina's
though. That's my point. That's
they
my
could. They're a decent team, and even this year, I think they're 17-10 or 17-11 right now.
right.
They're a decent team, and I think that's a good spot to be in. You're probably going to make the NIT. Not bad. I mean, Clemson would kill to be in that position right
I
now.
don't know. Yeah, I know, but I think this is the end of that era. I think they're gonna move on. Bald Frank Martin, he tried to switch it up, but he couldn't get it done. What are you gonna do? I saw him at a football game one time. Did I ever tell you about that?
Yeah.
I was walking into the stadium. It was a Carolina Clemson game. I think about it might have been 2017. It was in Columbia, and I was walking into the section where I was standing. I was alone. I was the one orange man in a sea of garnet and black. And anyway, I was walking to my seat, and I looked at Frank Martin. It was him. I took a picture of him real fast. I was like, Frank Martin. I was like, yeah. But I was like, that's sick. But yeah, I think it's time. I think it's time for both of them to go. If I'm being honest, I think it's time.
Brunel needs to go, but I don't think
I
they're
just
going
don't.
to.
We'll see.
He's
I just.
horrible.
I mean, how many more years are you gonna say he needs more time to build? That's crazy, man.
No,
Stop.
it's basketball. You need 1 year.
If Alabama can do it, man, anybody. If you'll sit there and you can say what you want about Bama, but if Alabama can make the basketball program good, anybody can because they're a football school through and through. Like they're made football. That's what they are, and they
Yeah,
still manage to have both. Really, well, Auburn's a basketball school. That's sad to say.
apparently. So is Tennessee.
Good old Tennessee. No, Tennessee's a football school too. Don't stop that,
I don't
man.
know. They've
I think their football program. Did you see what they did last year? I mean,
seven and five.
stop because in July, I remember last July, you would sit here and say Tennessee is dead. They've got so many transfers. Everybody's leaving. And what?
And they did really good. I'm just saying. I mean,
They had a
I don't know.
depleted roster. Just give that guy a full roster of talent and see what he has to
Out
do.
of all the sports at this current moment in time, basketball is Tennessee's forte and has been for years.
Oh, whatever. Whatever. All right.
So, yeah.
That's the end of the TNR Sports Show. We'll be back, like I said, on Monday, breaking down the weekend. I am gonna do a YouTube short, just a quick one on Friday, breaking down the games I'm specifically looking at, what I think could impact the SEC, impact yada yada yada. We got a big Arkansas game tomorrow. I think they're playing LSU at home, and then we're on Tennessee on Saturday. So
Is
that's
the
gonna
guy
be big.
Wade?
LSU kind of
What's
fell
his name?
off
Wade
though.
Phillips.
Yeah. So Wade, you talking about the LSU head coach?
Yeah, what's his
Man,
name? Wade.
Wade Phillips is the old Cowboy head coach.
Oh,
Um,
that's right.
no, yeah, he's a
Wade something.
loser.
I don't
Yeah,
remember.
Wade. Oh, it's gonna bother me. I'll have to look it up once we're done. Wade, yeah, Will Wade. That's it.
Will Wade.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, what a loser he is. He's like cheats. He has like it's like open recording of him buying players, and they didn't do anything. The NCAA was like, whatever, and they didn't suspend him or nothing. I was like, that's crazy. Anyway, that's the end of the TNR Sports Show. We'll be back with new episode on Monday. Look out for that short breaking down what I'm looking for this coming Saturday, and we'll be back. We'll be back. We will be back. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing and commenting and all things to the TNR Sports Show. The TNR Sports Show. We are done. We are done. Ryan, any last words? What do they need to do? What do they need to do, Ryan?
A lot of things. First of all,
Like
you need to
and
like and subscribe.
subscribe. Like and subscribe. Those are the two most important things. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.